Hello and welcome back to the Valley Forge Disc Golf Association's 2021 Battle of Greystone Woods, presented by the Valley Forge Sports Network. I'm Chris DeMarco, joined by David Wang and Dan Schifrin. Now, you guys are both members of the NJ Goldfinches. Is it safe to call us two birds, one stoner commentary today?
Wow.
Stoner, of course, being Greystoner. David, tell us about today's matchup.
Today's matchup, we have Dylan Cook leading the group in round one with the -5, 973 rated. And then Bill Hove, a Greystone local, Austin Barron, a newer player, and Jevin Torres, a New Jersey, North Jersey local, all coming in with -2, 943 rated rounds. Really excited to see a lot of these guys play. I personally play with 3 of them. I haven't seen Dylan Cook yet, but I've heard he shoots some hot rounds. I know he shot -10 before at Greystone, so really excited to see what he could do.
Dan, tell us about the weather here at Greystone Woods today.
Yeah, the weather was absolutely immaculate for round one at Battle of Greystone Woods. Our players are going to be facing a little bit of inclement weather in round two, but nothing that they can't handle, I'm sure.
Let's head down to Greystone Woods and check out hole one. Hole one is a 233-foot par 3. This is a great hole to start your round. It's challenging enough that it can really trip you up if you get caught up on either the left or right side. But it's straightforward enough where I expect to see some players get a look at the two. Look at these guys. We got our lead card here. VFDGA Major Event 2021 Battle of Greystone Woods. Dylan Cook seems to be the guy to beat right now. He's got a 3-stroke lead on the rest of the field.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, in a sanctioned league this year, Dylan Cook dropped a 10 down. I think that was a 10-17 rated round, and not surprised he's leading the pack here.
Puts himself to about 25 feet.
I gotta say, I just love to see Bill Hove representing Greystone. I can't think of a better guy to represent this course. One of the OGs here.
Absolutely. Suffering a terrible leg injury 2 years ago, but he's bounced back strong.
Jevin going with the backhand hyzer, flips up to flat. Really nice shape to that shot. He missed his line a bit wide right, but he may have a look at the two from there.
Really nice seeing Jevin throwing a smooth backhand. I know he likes his forehand more, but that was a nice backhand rip from him.
I don't know if you guys have gotten a chance to play with Austin yet. Great guy, new disc golfer. I saw him practice putting on the green of hole 9 a few weeks ago. Came up to him, mentioned the tournament to him. Here he is on lead card.
Yeah, I got to play with him at a tournament here at Greystone. Great guy. I love his enthusiasm. He is just absorbing the game, day by day, and a great attitude.
As you can probably see, the winds are really starting to pick up here. This is going to be a common theme for the rest of the round.
Now, I call this Billy range. He seems to knock down a lot of circle 2 putts, and he's giving everything a run in that range.
Yeah, good bid right there. A little low left, common and miss, as we always say here in this channel. Jevin getting down to the knee. Not sure if this is for positioning's sake with the tree hanging there or to try to get under the wind, but he looks to be ready to give this a bid.
Looks like a right to left headwind. Great spinner. Didn't expose the bottom of the disc there to the wind, so didn't get bullied there.
Tough putt to start the round, but still, getting birdie looks is what you're looking for out here, and I expect Dylan to pick that up.
Everybody looking to clean up here on the green. It is quite blustery out there. I love Austin's putting form. When you see new players who can putt well, it's scary. Unfortunate miscalculation from Jevin. Looked like he might have rushed that one a little bit. Probably thought it was a gimme, but he's going to be taking the bogey 4 here on hole 1. Rest of our cards are going to clean up their par.
And I believe this is all the players' first time on camera, so a lot of nerves.
Hole 2, par 4, 465. This one is a very challenging hole. Your tee shot is heavily crowded on either side. You've got the leaning slope to the left. Most guys are probably going to be trying to go with a placement shot to the log and then attack the second shot with either a high turnover or a low sidearm that hopefully skips up to the green. Dylan seems to be looking to throw the backhand here. I would assume he seems to be a backhand dominant player from what I've heard about him. A little bit of a delay here on hole 2.
Whenever you're ready. It's up to you guys.
With the winds up like this, AM golfers do tend to struggle on the green, so these players are really going to try to get their approach shots as close as possible just to alleviate the stress of putting in these increasing winds.
Look at that stroke. Incredible reach back Dylan has. A little bit of a tough kick out to the right. Probably going to be pretty pinched off there. It's so hard to attack. I think the better miss is left side here.
Can we
Yeah, I
talk?
would agree.
Sorry, Dave. Can we talk about how cool Bill looks?
Oh my lord.
Come on.
The energy he's giving off is just huge.
Surprisingly throwing a blue disc. If you look in his bag, I'd say 90% of his discs are purple, but bringing out the blue one today.
Yeah, he's got so many purple discs. It's unbelievable. I've never seen someone more dedicated to their color selection. Alston, really nice stroke. Almost got a little bit of Nate Sexton energy with his reach back. Kind of holds it back there, really pulls through with the disc. Again, when you see new players developing clean form like that, it's just intimidating.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, Jevin, forehand dominant player. Excited to see how far you could push this forehand on the screen, drive.
The slope of the fairway definitely helps to keep the forehands flying a little straighter, and that is a crush.
Wow, I don't think I've ever seen a forehand go that far.
Yeah.
Past the log, plays that left side, gets through everything, flexes it back to the fairway. Very, very impressive forehand.
It's like 60 feet past the log. That's going to be a pretty easy approach shot to the green from there.
Yeah, it looks like he was going for that line exactly. I sort of thought he might have missed his line left and gotten fortunate. Looks like something has happened to Dylan Cook's scorecard here. Not sure what's going on there. We might have to figure that out. He's very pinched off. Yeah, so he must be a very backhand dominant player to be trying to go with the turnover there.
Yeah.
Missed inside, and I don't think that one was high enough to really carry far right. Even if he pured the gap there, I think it would have just kind of cut rolled, bounced back out. Bill Hove looks to be going with a understable driver here. Let's see if he can get the turnover to work for him.
Yeah, it really needs to get good height on this one. Let's. One thing I must say about Bill Hove is his form is very crisp. He always tucks that throwing hand to his left cheek, and pretty much every time you see him throw backhand, he's going to do that really smooth.
I'm going to move this over so that it's easier for you to face the mic when you talk.
Okay, yeah.
I can see it's just not quite picking it up.
Yeah.
Alston going sidearm. Versatile player Alston seems to be. I'm not sure if he favors either side. That's a very great shot from him. Gives himself a nice look.
Unfortunate to see Jevin a little bit pinched off there with the tree, but makes good work of the approach shot. He's in circle one.
Yeah, it looks like he was going to his justice there. I think that's a really big go-to for him, David. You talked about him favoring the sidearm. Dylan swings that one out way wide. Again, I think he just was pinched off here. It probably would have been better off to just kind of play to the fairway on that second shot rather. But it looks like he has maybe a long bid to the basket here.
Great effort. Yeah, long bid's unfortunate, but let's see if the rest of the card could capitalize on Dylan taking a bogey here.
I love that you mentioned Bill Hove's a big circle two putter. I did not know that. Great run.
Yeah, I play a ton of local tag rounds with Bill Hove, and I'll be honest, I've seen him sink more circle two putts than anyone else.
I love that. Yeah, like I said before, it's great to have the Greystone local here. I mean, I can't think of a better guy to represent us coming down the stretch. I mean, we got to root for some good golf across the board here, but Jevin bangs in the putt from about 25 feet. After that bogey on hole 1, he's got to love that 3 here on hole 2.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's going to be a two-stroke swing for him on the leader, Dylan Cook. And for Austin as well. Great birdie on hole 2.
Yeah, Jevin's was a little more unconventional. We saw him take that left side gap, hit the longer putt. He was pinched off on the second, but Austin kind of just worked his way down the fairway. And seeing Austin get that birdie 3, really, he made the hole look very easy. Hole 3, par 4, 415. This is another one that when you get it, it does feel easy. Low canopy at the top of this hill here forces players to really take a driven tee shot, but you still want to push it out far. Set yourself up with a chance to attack the green on your most likely sidearm shot here. Unfortunately, it does play uphill the whole way, so even if you get a great shot off of the tee, you still have quite a bit to bite off. And with all the rocks in the fairway, guys, it's so challenging to get good positioning.
Little left side, but I think that'll work. Just getting up over that little hill is what you're looking for.
Yeah, that had a great shape to the flight, but I think he just either a little early release or misfired a little bit inside. Jevin going again to the sidearm. Not common to see that on this hole.
That works, though. You know, got the turn he wants on it, got enough height to get over the ridge. It's going to play.
You hate to see him pinched off with that little skinny tree there. We'll see what he does. Bill Hove taking off that beautiful camo top. Got a little Wolfpack discs action.
I believe this is right around when the rain started rolling in, so you're going to see some towels popping out of bags.
Yeah, I think I see some rain coming down here. Dylan at the back of the box. Let's see how he bounces back. I mean, he had a 6 birdie stretch on some of the easier, more birdieable holes in hole 1 that came at the end of his round. So I'm not sure if he's super familiar with playing from behind the way he's been playing lately, but let's see what he can do here on hole 3. Bill showing a little bit of versatility going to the sidearm there. Didn't know he had that.
Austin in a tough spot to attack for birdie. Tries to force over an overstable disc, really push up to the green. That's going to be a look, although fairly deep and unobstructed possibly.
Yeah, it's so much easier to hit your lines with the overstability of some of those higher speed discs, but I think when you're really trying to get uphill through these tunnel shots, if you can control the hyzer flip up to flat, it's so much more advantageous. And Dylan, look at this turnover backhand. I think that's his watermelon disc as well. He loves that matching set.
That is juicy.
Yeah, and the second shot, I think if you have the backhand turnover, it's kind of the best shot. Like Chris was saying, since you're going uphill, the forehand's a little touchy with how much stability you want on it. But if you have this, backhand turnover, give it some height, it's gonna get right there.
Yeah, I think he was in the perfect position for that. If I don't miss my mark, I think Dylan also has a knee pad that has a watermelon theme to it. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think I saw it earlier. Jevin going back to his Justice.
It's a surprisingly overstable disc choice for that shot, but he was pretty far up there, and he pushes into circle 1 for the birdie 3. Look.
It does look like a really seasoned Justice, but I agree. If he can flip something up a little straighter, would have landed a little closer to the basket. Let's see what Bill can do here. Probably going to go from the standstill. Again, there's just so many rocks on this fairway, and that's such a common mistake there, let alone the blustery wind. He had to keep that one low, but trying to get power from the standstill is so challenging, unless your name is Evan Losh.
It has to be stated how stressful woods golf can be when you have such strong gusts of wind permeating through the woods. You kind of can't really tell where it's going, and it can really take advantage of you sometimes.
Tough putt from Austin there. Got that little tree in his way, but that'll clean up for a par.
Yeah, Austin's in great positioning so far. If he can par hole 4 and go through the first 4 neg 1, that's going to feel really good. Jevin, unfortunate miscalculation there, a little low. You love to see him in position to attack again, but unfortunate.
I've noticed that Jevin actually has 2 different putts. He has that sort of more steep hyzer push putt there he just displayed, and a spinner that he knocked down on hole 2. I really like the variety he's displaying here on the green.
I wonder if that's a wind thing. We'll see coming down the stretch of this round here. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm not sure if he rushed that or what the case was. Jevin, I have to say, is one of the lower rated players in our field, around 865. So big ups to him for making lead card. I mean, to come out here, he knew the cameras were out here. He mentioned to me on the tee of hole 3 that he's a big fan of the channel. To see him come out and shoot hot, get down with about a 955 rated round in hole 1, and find himself on lead card, guys, I mean, that's huge ups to him.
Very impressive. I was very shocked to hear that was his rating after seeing the numbers he put up.
I mean, he's the type of guy that's just always playing tournaments, so going up and down all the time.
He's definitely a road warrior out there. Hole 4, par 3, 351. By every means, the most challenging hole on this course. You have so many factors to contend with. A very narrow tunnel off of the tee. You can see the drone struggling to get through this heavily crowded green. And even if you make it the whole way off of the tee, chances are you're going to find yourself all the way at the bottom of that hill. We'll see what our players can do here.
Chris DeMarco, cameraman.
Jevin's one of those guys that's got music in his ears when he plays, but he isn't obnoxious about it, which is very uncommon. A lot of the time you see guys listening to music, they're extremely loud, extremely rude. He is just such a chill, level-headed guy out there from what I can see. I really appreciate it. Dylan had the perfect shape to get all the way to the basket, but he drifts that one a bit long, hits a tree, but I think he's in perfect position to just lay up and get the 3.
Yeah, staying on the fairway here is huge to stay in, keep the par in play. Austin hitting that first available right side, but right side is a little better than left, so maybe he could work with that.
Yeah, it's a short 350, but it's very, very tight, and there's a reason that it's one of the hardest holes on the course.
Yeah, the distance says 451 on this one. I don't think that is correct. Apologies for that. Jevin, really interesting wrist curl on his shots. Again, I'm not sure if that's a wind thing, and it looks like Bill Hove is calling lightning. You can't see it here, but the skies are so dark right now. We're going to have to call this one for now. Take a 30-minute break, see what we can do to get this round done. It's funny, as a player, I will gladly play in lightning storms. It's one of my favorite conditions when it's just absolutely hectic out there, but as a TD, you've got to call it. And look at this fellow here going to mark his disc. Now, Dan, you and David both played in this tournament. Tell the people what's going through your head. You're 4 holes into your second round here, trying to catch your stride. What are some of the thoughts going through your mind as you see lightning come down from the skies here at Greystone Woods?
I have to be honest, I was a little upset to hear the bring it in call. Like you said, I would have gladly have kept going. I was 1 under at that point, so as I kept repeating that day, I was on pace to make my comeback. And to hear that call come in was a little upsetting, but it was the right thing to do for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. You know, especially coming from the back cards, you really want to get a groove going, and it seemed like our card was hitting our stride and then having to take a break. I heard a lot of other people mumbling, complaining that we're bringing it in, but great call by TDs, because 5-10 minutes after we saw lightning and then hail, and just safety first always out there.
I wish we could have gotten some footage of that hailstorm, but it looks like things have
All right,
cleared
folks,
up.
Battle of Greystone Woods after a crazy rain delay. We're back here again on hole 4. We're going to try to play this out. We've barely got enough daylight left. We should be able to pull it off. Crazy lightning, crazy hailstorm earlier, but the weather's cleared up. Let's get back into the action.
Yeah, I have to say, it definitely felt vindicating. I know there were some groans from players complaining about wanting to keep going. Literally within 5-10 minutes, massive penny-sized hail just rained down from the sky, which I think is aptly fitting. This tournament's namesake, the Battle of Valley Forge, was ridiculous conditions when Washington crossed the Delaware to turn the tides in the Revolutionary War. Let's see if any of our players can turn the tides here on Dylan Cook as we head into the latter half of hole 4. Now, guys, I gotta say, this is a terrible hole to have to take a break during. The most challenging hole on our course.
Absolutely.
I feel for Bill and Austin here. They got a lot to recover.
All the locals know this is the hardest hole on the course. Today it was averaging a stroke or 1.3 strokes above average, and temperatures dropped. And, people were stiff, not getting warm during the break, and having to come back out here to the toughest hole is not easy at all.
Did you guys see Tim Gabber cleaning his lens but still capturing Bill Hove on catch?
That is a
love to see that.
True professional right there. Cleaning the lens and still doing great catch work. Way to go, Tim.
Yeah,
we love you.
Way to go. Is this that justice again for Jevin?
I think so.
Looks like he's between discs here.
Okay, chooses not to go with the justice. Going back door on him. He's definitely got to look at the basket, but this is not where you want to be with a par putt. We saw Willem have to take a long par putt, and unfortunately it ended up in a bogey for him yesterday. And I'm going to chalk that one up to the break for sure from Dylan there, that misfire.
Yeah, especially for righty putters, being on the right side of the basket is much better than left. You know, putting with the going up the hill is much better than going away from the hill.
Great bid from Austin there as we see Dylan take his medicine, lay up for the bogey 4. Smart play. Look at his face. He wanted no part of that.
Hard to lay that shot up after seeing one of your card mates run a putt from the same distance.
Yeah, I love Austin's game, man. I can't wait to see it evolve over time. I don't know just how new he is, but it seems like he honestly may have started playing this year.
That's impressive.
Jevin got a long look to save his par. Had a bit of an up and down round so far. Let's see what he can do here on the green of hole 4.
Par save here will go a long way.
He does have a very interesting looking putt down.
I do love to see him go with the spinner during these windy conditions, though. The hyzer putt is just way too vulnerable to the wind.
Yeah, unfortunate chain out left side for Bill there. I love that little flip up Bill does with the disc before he putts, by the way. There's not many things cooler you're going to see out here today. Double bogey for Bill. Again, you hate to see that happen to a player during the break, and I believe Dylan tapped in his bogey. Now, hole 5, par 3, 285. You've got two options here. You can either swing it out left side on the sidearm or go up the gap with the backhand. Of course, again, shout out to Evan Losh for taking that ridiculously high sky anning on the left. The green looks very crowded here, but majority of the time, the trees are just going to kind of guide the disc back down to the basket if you can put it in the right spot. Looks like Dylan's opting to go with the true backhand line. He seems like one of those guys where it's like, if I'm on a par 4 or if I need a weird touchy approach shot, I'll go sidearm, but otherwise I'm going to try to stick to my backhand. I can respect that for sure.
Yeah, great result. Get himself in circle 1. Let's see if Austin could do the same with this forehand hyzer route, and it's looking pretty good.
A little too wide there. Looks like he's in the shul on the left, but should be a very manageable.
The shul.
Should be a manageable up and down.
Dan's always coming at you with those interesting agricultural terms. I think Jevin. I don't want to say it again. Was that the justice again? Did he just go mid range?
It's possible, but I think most players will disc up just to get that overstability for the forehand.
Yeah, we saw Jimmy Wang go with that runway. We saw him go mid range. Week 1 VFDGL, great shot from Bill. That's such a true line there with the backhand. Really impressive. Jevin, Dan, where is he? Where is he here?
He's in the left shul there, but he's got a line of the basket, and he shows it right there. It's about 20 feet deep, actually. It's going to be a tester in this wind.
Yeah, more than you want to have for a par putt. I think as an AM disc golfer, you step up to 20 with a birdie look, you're feeling great. But for par, not so much.
Yeah.
And that's in a really, really tough spot for Austin. I think he was in some pricker bushes there. It's always harder to get your attitude set. Misfire from Dylan, but this is an AM tournament. You're allowed to miss. Let's see if he can hit the comebacker.
Big putt by Austin.
Look at how he uses that nose down, almost Ricky-like putt. I can't believe I didn't say this earlier. Wow. He putts like Ricky.
He kicks his back leg up so high like Ricky, and I love how he kind of had his torso get lower, kind of get underneath the ceiling there, make sure that the putt gets through, and gets home.
Let's see if Bill could correct the mistake from the last putt, and does. Good putt by Bill, saving that par. Oh, birdie, I'm sorry. Cashing that birdie.
Yeah, he had that great tee shot with the backhand, floated in, true the whole way. Now this is where champions are going to be made here. These guys are trying to bid for a VFDGA major title, and Dylan Cook hits the comebacker. Incredible.
Not easy to hit a comebacker after airballing the first one, I'll tell you.
Yeah, and he almost looked like he had that tree in contention a little bit. We see TD Scott DeMarco off in the distance there. He was excited to be able to get out here and check out some of the action for round 2. Hole 6, par 3, 249. Dave, you've aced this hole twice. Tell us about it.
Actually aced it once, but
you really aced it once?
Yeah, straight fairway, and then finishes to the right. You could take this backhand turnover route for righties, or just a straight mid-range that fades for the forehand. Bill going with this turnover, gets enough height on it. Let's see if it holds. Looking good.
Hold on, Dave. I thought you skipped this one in and aired it in. Oh my lord, Bill Hove almost
Speaking
airs
of
it
ace
in.
runs.
No, I skipped it in with the high-speed disc. I've gotten close on the second, but
Yeah, you used that Konapiste FD, I believe it was,
I
right?
did, yeah.
I think you retired that disc?
I have retired it just because it's silver, hard to see, and great ace run by Bill there.
Wow, almost getting a little bit of help from Mother Nature there.
Mother Nature. Great shot, Bill. Let's see what Dylan can do here. He's had a rough go these past 2 holes, but he went through the first 4 at +1 with his lead. That's going to be more than fine. And this backhand turnover is so challenging. You really, I think, need to throw a hyzer flip up to turnover. That leaning left tree on the left side of the fairway really restricts your angles, and I think that's why you saw Dylan kind of release that one a bit low there.
That being said, if you can keep a backhand straight along the path there, get pin high, you have a downhill circle's edge putt for the 2, so not the worst play.
Yeah, and there is a really nice backdrop off the back of the green there. Unfortunate miscalculation from Jevin with his justice there.
Yeah, I think that's a common mistake for the forehand guys, putting hyzer on it right away, but you really want to hit this flat and have the disc fade. I myself make that mistake, putting hyzer out of the hands and just going to be chopping wood from there.
Jevin going with the Chris Costley approach, trying to soak up the limelight here. There we go. That's what we needed to see him do. He will have a look for the bogey, the double bogey 5 from there. We'll see if he can hit it in. Now Dylan, looks like he gave it kind of like a little half bid, but again, this is not really where he needs to be attacking. I mean, these holes are very birdieable, but he still has a 2-stroke lead on Austin, and we did see Austin struggle a little bit over the last few holes, so he really doesn't need to be attacking too hard. I would say for Dylan right now, stay attacking off the tee. If he can get himself in position to go for the basket, great. If not, find those pars, and I think he'll be in great shape here at Greystone Woods.
Absolutely. Being a veteran player, I think he knows, how to hold the lead and, not put himself in trouble.
Yeah, I saw his PDGA rating was in the 80,000s. That's OG right there.
Good run by Austin there. Good settle.
Bill, this one's going in. And whenever he does that disc flip, I feel like it goes in.
Oh, yeah.
Cash.
He's got a very Simon Lizotte trajectory on his putt.
Wow.
Nose up, but just beelines towards the basket. I really love to see that.
Maybe after this day, he'll have the same trajectory for his disc golf career. I don't know.
One can only hope.
After the success of yesterday's video, anything is possible for Bill Hove.
Absolutely.
Jevin, unfortunately, with the triple bogey there, as we see Dylan clean up his par. Hole 7, par 3, 211. Now, you will see that the back half of this green is very crowded, but realistically, this is one where you really are going to be focused on the first portion of the flight. Hit your angle, try to match the slope of the green off of the tee, and if you peer the gap, you should find yourself settling in near the basket. Unfortunately for Bill, that is not the case. Wow. Although I will say, that was a little reminiscent of Simon's season. A lot of ups and downs.
We love you, Simon.
And Bill came off a big injury as well, I think, from a few years ago.
Yeah, he broke his leg on this course. Great to see him back out here.
Yeah. Great guy, Bill Hove.
Speaking of breaking legs, take a look at how slick those tee pads look. Very, very stressful to be driving on those. But not for Austin.
No. Austin is just such a technical player. I keep talking about how new he is. I wish I knew the specifics on when he started playing, because you see a lot of new good disc golfers these days, as we see Jevin take the backdoor route with the backhand. Attacking the hill on a hyzer there will help your disc settle in naturally. But yeah, I wonder how long he's been playing, because his game seems to be so well-rounded. And Dylan going with the upside-down putter approach.
Wow.
That was...
I really like that play from Dylan, honestly. With the weather being what it was that day, it's a pretty good play to kind of bet against the field on some of these trickier par 3s.
Yeah,
Austin looks laser-focused here.
As Dan mentioned, the weather's really picking up. Usually not one of the tougher holes out here, but today it was the 4th hardest hole. And I think it must have been the wind on the putting green. It slopes so hard, and a lot of big scores coming on this hole.
Yeah, maybe it's some of that tournament factor as well. You know, this is one of those holes where it's easy, but I think with nerves, it can get the better of you, Speaking of nerves, this is not a favorable wind play right now. He's got a right to left headwind. I think he was afraid to really give that one push. Maybe he should have gone back to the knee there again. Bill got a tough par putt. Look at him. Look at that reaction here. I mean, the wind is practically going, the leaves are going sideways here at Greystone. This is unreal conditions right now. Bill to save his par.
And just as we mentioned, the wind, you know, right to left, flipping that up, sailing it over.
He did stay inbounds, so he should be able to either cash this one in or lay back up. Dylan cleans up his par. Head down to the base of the hill, see what Bill can do here.
Unfortunately, the nose up on Bill's putt was kind of what did him in there, and he's having a pretty rough hole here.
Yeah, this is unfortunate. Looks like he's choosing to replay his lie from where he threw.
That's a veteran move.
Yeah, that's a veteran move from Bill there. Great knowledge of the PDGA rules, and he's right back in that same spot. I would have loved to see him just get under the basket here.
Oh, tough break here on the putting green for Bill, but I think he's really just trying to get off this hole.
Yeah, that looked a little rushed from him. We know he's a better putter than that. Cleans up the +5. Unfortunate. Austin getting that little tap in par, and Jevin, I believe, cleaned up his par as well. Hole 8, par 3, 194. This is a very simple backhand hyzer shot, but it can get tricky if you swing your disc out on the right side. Yes, the backhand spin will try to keep you in, but there's a leaning slope there on the back right of this fairway here that can kind of guide the disc down towards the water. And this one looks a little bit too straight. Nope. Hooks up. Oh, that did go water.
Wow, it was not looking like it was going OB, but, you know, with these winds, you don't really know what's going to happen down there.
Yeah, it looked like it was hooking up, but I think it just hooked up too late. He either gassed it a bit too much, or I think maybe just a little bit of that nose-up angle caused him to push too far there. Austin, not a favorable tee shot, but it looks like he's keeping his cool.
Common mistake I see from players is they go with something a little too stable as opposed to overstable, so it kind of flies a little too straight on them, finds the water.
Yeah, I go with a Warden here because I'm just weird like that, but I'm starting to think about going maybe with like a zone, something more overstable, more consistent. And Bill, really nice shape to that shot. Would have put him to about 15-20 feet, but unfortunately he finds himself short. I'm not sure why we're seeing Austin go sidearm here. I think it's because that tree was in his way, but that is going to counterspin out of bounds.
That's tough to see. I'm not sure why he went with the overstable forehand there.
Yeah, maybe you could kind of go with like a little backhand skip shot. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
in these conditions on the camera with the wind here, it's certainly not easy. And he's going to miss his bogey 4 putt. He'll be tapping in for the double bogey.
Yeah, I can't say it enough. These conditions are tough. It got really cold. The wind's in play, as you can see, and it's definitely something that the contestants have to battle through.
Yeah, and that added up with the tournament pressure most likely impedes on the players' decision making, you know.
This is a great putt from Dylan. We've seen him come up huge. He hasn't really attacked the course yet as much as he did in round 1, but to be able to hit that comebacker, that putt from OB there, save his 3 while we see the rest of the card kind of struggling a bit on the last few holes, really is going to set a precedent. Incredible play from Dylan Cook. Wow.
Yeah, we were hoping to see a little bit more of a push from our runner-ups here on Dylan Cook, but Dylan's just holding a little too rock steady.
Yeah, but Travis Amico seems to be making a stride. We got Jacob Bliss at even, Austin Barron at even, and Travis Amico, VFDGA member, coming in at -2 so far overall. Maybe we'll see him make a push here as we take a look at the leaderboard after 8 holes. Field is deep. Hole 9, par 3, 219 feet. This is a very challenging tunnel shot. You'll see a lot of guys try to keep the disc low because there is a bit of a low ceiling from these interesting, what are these, evergreen trees?
You would know more than me.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Scott here. Scott's the tree guy. Yeah, the conditions are tough. Again, I'll be honest, the filters in the camera, all the little touch-up work we do in post, it looks beautiful, but it kind of gets rid of just how challenging the conditions are right now. I mean, the skies are dark, it's dimly lit, everything's getting wet, soggy, windy. You're not seeing it really from these players, but this has got to be very frustrating conditions to be playing on camera, especially after the storms kind of got pushed back. I think the players probably thought we were going to be okay coming into this round.
Hole 9 usually plays as one of the easier holes, I'd say, but with the wind up the way it was today, it's terrifying with the water on the right there.
Yeah, fortunate Austin didn't go in the water. A lot of these
I think
bad
he actually
picks.
did. I think he did go OB there. Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see for Austin. Really, really tough break. Ouch, man. I mean, we'll see how we can recover here. I'm glad it happened on hole 9, if anything. I feel like psychologically it is kind of easier to reset after 9 holes. And he's still within striking distance of Dylan. He's only down 4. Looks like that's going to become 5 here as Dylan lays up for the easy par.
Dylan's just doing what he has to do, getting his pars, not really losing any strokes of the course.
For bogey?
Wow, big putt by Austin.
Wow.
And you could see the card mates cheering him on. You saw Jevin give Dylan a fist pound. I just love the sportsmanship we have out here.
Yeah, Jevin brings great energy. I mean, this whole tournament was just really good energy across the board. Look at this putt. He's got that tree to contend with, uses that nose-up angle to let the disc flex out. A little bit of anti-release there from Austin. Look at him. He's all smiles after a tough break off of the tee. You just love to see that out here. Great putt from the kid. And Jevin, interesting little downhill putt. See if he goes to the knee. No. I think he just went to that on 1 because it was getting blustery. He was probably just trying to get under the wind. This one's downhill. We'll see what he can do.
Try to compensate too much for that tree on the left there, but that'll clean up.
Yeah.
Make sure you're carrying your cameras with the lens down.
I got Dave Matthews in my ear, so like the sick guitar part will come on, and I'll just like.
Little Dave Matthews, huh?
Yeah.
Did not know he was a Dave Matthews fan.
That's what Jevin's listening to. We need like a playlist that tells us what song Jevin's listening to at any given time.
I wouldn't have taken him for a Dave Matthews fan ever, really.
I don't know what makes a Dave Matthews fan. I don't know. But after 9 holes in the second round here at the Battle of Greystone Woods, Dylan Cook looks to be striding ahead. He's got a 5-stroke lead. We saw he had a 2-stroke lead on Travis Amico. I would love to see Amico make a push here. I think that some of the guys on this lead card, still have the potential to make a push. What do you guys think of the action so far today?
I mean, all I gotta say is no surprise Travis Amico making a push. Greystone local, ex-Goldfinch player. You know, he knows these woods really well. And, you know, I just want to see, you know, the rest of the card here on lead card keep it together, maybe get on a hot streak and push for that first place.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the leaderboard. Dan, we still got a couple guys in contention. What are you thinking out there?
Honestly, with the conditions that we repeatedly bring up, the level of golf we're seeing is pretty typical. Except for Dylan Cook, he's actually playing pretty well, I'd say, with the conditions. Holding on to his lead, playing really good front-runner golf, and it's awesome to see Travis making a run for the top as well.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything like too remarkable yet, but this is an AM tournament. You don't have to be amazing to win. He's just playing really consistently, especially considering the conditions. Folks, thank you for joining us here in the Front 9 Battle of Greystone Woods final round VFDGA major event. We will see you back here in a few short moments for the back 9.